The plains of Troy echo with the clash of bronze and the cries of fallen warriors. The Trojan War, a conflict etched in legend, pits Greeks against Trojans. At the heart of this epic clash stand Achilles and Hector. Their names resonate through time, symbols of bravery and might. Their stories are complex tapestries woven with threads of rage, love, honor, and despair. Achilles, the son of a mortal king and the sea nymph Thetis, is a force of nature on the battlefield. His very presence strikes terror into the hearts of Trojan warriors. He is almost invincible thanks to his mother dipping him in the river Styx as a child. Only his heel, the point by which she held him, remained vulnerable. Achilles is driven by a thirst for glory, a desire to etch his name into the annals of history. He is a study in contrasts, capable of great tenderness, as seen in his bond with Patroclus, but also prone to fits of devastating rage. This rage, sparked by the death of Patroclus at the hands of Hector, becomes the catalyst for some of the most brutal acts of the Trojan War. In stark contrast to Achilles stands Hector, the eldest son of King Priam of Troy. He is not blessed with superhuman strength or divine protection. Instead, Hector is defined by his unwavering sense of duty, his love for his family, and his city. Hector is the protector of Troy, the shield that stands between his people and annihilation. He fights not for personal glory, but out of a deep sense of responsibility. He is a skilled warrior, but more importantly, he is a compassionate leader and a loving husband and father. His humanity shines through in his interactions with his wife, Andromache, and their son, Astyanax, offering a poignant counterpoint to the brutality of war. The Trojan War is not merely a conflict between mortals. The gods themselves are active participants, their whims and rivalries shaping the course of the war. The Olympians, divided in their loyalties, intervene on behalf of their favored heroes, influencing the ebb and flow of battle. Aphrodite favors the Trojans, spurred by the promise of the fairest woman, Helen. Athena, on the other hand, throws her support behind the Greeks, driven by her rivalry with Aphrodite. This divine intervention adds another layer of complexity to the conflict, blurring the lines between human agency and divine destiny. The heroes of the Iliad are puppets in a cosmic play, their actions influenced by forces beyond their control. Central to the narrative of the Iliad is the bitter feud between Achilles and Hector. This conflict, fueled by pride and a thirst for vengeance, escalates from a personal grudge into a clash that threatens to consume both armies. Achilles, initially driven by a dispute with Agamemnon, withdraws from the fighting. He sulks in his tent, his rage festering. This decision, born out of wounded pride, has devastating consequences for the Greeks. The Trojans, emboldened by Achilles' absence, push forward, led by the valiant Hector. Section 6. Duel of Fates. A battle for the ages. The climax of the Iliad arrives in the form of a duel. Hector, having slain Patroclus, becomes the target of Achilles' unbridled wrath. Driven by grief and a desire for revenge, Achilles returns to the battlefield, his fury shaking the very foundations of Troy. The duel between Achilles and Hector is a clash of titans, a battle that transcends the physical realm and becomes a symbolic struggle between opposing forces. Rage versus duty, individual glory versus communal responsibility. The outcome is a foregone conclusion. Achilles, fueled by divine power and consumed by vengeance, slays Hector. He drags Hector's body around the walls of Troy, a final act of desecration that shocks even the gods. Section 7. The Aftermath. Grief and a Glimmer of Humanity. The death of Hector marks a turning point in the Iliad. Achilles, having achieved his revenge, is left with nothing but ashes in his mouth. The glory he craved rings hollow. He is consumed by grief, not for Hector, but for the loss of his own humanity. In a moving display of compassion, Priam, the king of Troy, comes to Achilles to beg for the return of his son's body. This act of humility, of a father's love transcending the boundaries of war, pierces Achilles' hardened heart. He relents, allowing Priam to take Hector's body back to Troy for a proper burial. Section 8. The Two Faces of Heroism. The Iliad doesn't offer a simple answer to the question of who the real hero is, Achilles or Hector. They are both heroes, but they embody different aspects of heroism. Achilles, with his superhuman strength and pursuit of personal glory, represents the Homeric ideal of the warrior hero. Hector, on the other hand, embodies a more grounded form of heroism. He is defined by his selflessness, his unwavering sense of duty, and his love for his family and city. He is the protector, the one who sacrifices his own glory for the greater good. Section 9. Echoes of Troy. A Legacy of Heroes. The Iliad, though written centuries ago, still resonates with modern audiences. The questions it raises about the nature of heroism, the cost of war, and the complexities of human nature remain as relevant as ever. Achilles and Hector, locked in their eternal struggle, continue to fascinate and inspire. They remind us that heroism isn't about perfection, but about confronting our flaws and striving to be better, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. They are a testament to the enduring power of stories, and their legacy continues to shape our understanding of what it means to be human.